coalition of Democratic House members calling on BP to stop dividend payments until it caps the well and cleans up the Gulf. Leading the charge is Congressman Peter Welch of Vermont. Congressman, good to have you here, and I mean no disrespect with this question, but I think we've seen many instances where Congress comes in and seemingly meddles in the business of private business. Congress sometimes grandstands a little bit. Explain to me why this is not a case of that.
Well, I think there's two reasons BP should suspend its dividend. First is executives like Warren Buffett know corporations pay dividends after they meet their obligations. Now, BP has a huge obligation here, something acknowledged even by BP and Mr. Hayward. They've spilled 40 million gallons so far. The cost of the cleanup has been $1 billion so far, and estimates range up to $37 billion as to the full cost of the cleanup. So they need that capital reserve in order to meet their obligations. There's a second reason. BP, in the long run, may be doing their shareholders a favor. If they stabilize their position and hoard their cash to meet the obligation they've acknowledged that they have and the law says they have, they may be around to fight another day, and that's a real question for them.
So, Congressman, I agree with a lot of what you said, but still, I think the spirit of the question is, why is this still not government telling business how to do its business? And what would you say to critics that say you are meddling, regardless of those reasons that you cited?
Well, what I'd say is that there's 40 million gallons of oil that is in the Gulf Coast. 120 miles of shoreline have been affected. The Coast Guard is on high alert, and the National Guard has been deployed to try to clean this up. So this is not a meddling issue. This is a national catastrophe. Taxpayers are hurt, but the folks who are really, really hammered are those who live along the Gulf Coast. And they have claims. We want to make certain that they can be paid. BP says they will meet those obligations. Obviously, if they're going to spend and continue a $10 billion annual dividend, that raises questions as to whether they're going to be able to meet the obligation. So there's a very, very compelling public interest here. Also, BP would do much more to improve its image if it suspended the dividend, because that's a head scratcher for, I think, the American people when they've got this open-ended liability.
Americans have had a lot of experience in recent years with companies that have misbehaved, but we've also alarmingly had a tremendous amount of experience with regulators who seem not to have done their jobs. And the question, Congressman, sir, is for you isn't Congress's role here, or isn't there the proper role of Congress in a case like this to make sure that government regulators are doing their jobs, that they are not subject to regulatory capture by the companies that they are supposed to be watching over? And isn't that the most profitable thing you in Congress, not personally but at large, should be doing right now?
Well, you're dead right about that. I mean, there's significant culpability here with the Mining and Mineral Services Administration that has developed over years a too cozy relationship with the industry they were supposed to be regulating. And that was over Democratic and Republican administrations. And you're exactly right when you say that a major role that Congress should have and government should have is in preventing these by having proper and tough regulation, not regulation that's essentially run by exception. But there's two issues here. One is that reform you're talking about of the regulatory process where government blew it, but also, obviously, BP is the responsible party. Their conduct, the evidence is pretty clear, was quite reckless. They've got a major responsibility, financial liability to the American people and to the people of the coast. So they've got to use their money for that purpose, not to pay out dividends.
Congressman Welch, thank you very much for being with us. Appreciate your answers today.